Welcome to the Procrastinario. My name is Jan, and today we're playing EU4 as Pomerania on what is... oh, it's actually a Sunday. We are going to continue our religious conversion into Protestantism, and if I remember correctly, we weren't going to go to war. I did forget a little bit, I will admit, between recording the last episode and this one, simply because it's been basically a week since I recorded it last. Simply because it was the holiday week and I decided to pre-record the episodes for last week because, well, I wanted to spend holidays with my family just like everyone else does. And kind of relaxing for a bit. This next week, there are going to be pre-recorded episodes. I'm actually recording this on Friday and I will be recording next week's episode, well, technically when this is out, so on a Sunday. And yeah, that's how it's going to have to be. We're going to unpause here, and I do actually have a history brief prepared for you guys. Oh, a bunch of people cancelled military rights, that's fine by me. But, because we weren't going to go to war, I went and prepared a history brief. I actually had a hard time deciding what we were going to talk about, but I have found what we are going to talk about. And it is a simple topic, actually, in the end. It is the Peace of Westphalia. We're going to talk about the Peace of Westphalia. Now, the Peace of Westphalia was signed a little bit later, in about, what, 60, 70 years? In 1648, actually, during a few times. It was signed in the year of 1648. There were a few separate treaties and pieces inside it, but it is a series of peace treaties that were signed between May and October in 1648, that were signed in Osnabrück and Münster. So, over here, where Münster is, and in Osnabrück, so in these two provinces. During the peace of Westphalia kind of ended two major conflicts in Europe, one being the 30-year War, which is a war between the HRE lands, and, well, then kind of became a international conflict, but it began in the HRE as a religious kind of Protestant against Catholic kind of thing, and ended up being kind of an international war of power between the Bourbon dynasty and the Habsburg dynasties. Well, that was fun. The second thing it ended was the 80 Years' War, which was basically to restore Spanish dominance over the Netherlands, which, as you guys might know, the Netherlands were ruled by the Spanish Habsburg. What had happened is that the Spanish demanded independence. No, not the Spanish, the Dutch demanded independence, began with the Dutch revolt. The peace treaty recognized Dutch independence, mostly by the Spanish, because the Spanish were, of course, the main ones who had something to say about the independence. Oh, we were repaying loans, that's what we were doing. Because the Spanish wanted to remain in control over the provinces. It's totally natural. It happened all the time. Crimea wants military access. Interesting. I keep pausing. There were 109 different parties participating in the talks. The major ones were, of course, the Emperor, who was at the time Ferdinand III, the Holy Roman Emperor. The Kingdom of Spain, representatives of the Kingdom of France, the Swedish Empire, the Dutch Republic, all the HRE princes, and of the Free Imperial Cities. If you guys don't know what the Free Imperial Cities are basically self-governing cities that weren't really under control by one of the electors or one of the seats of power, which were Lübeck was an independent city. I think Frankfurt was also an independent city, and there were quite a few others. The first treaty, or the first part that kind of forms the Treaty of Westphalia, or the Peace of Westphalia, is the Peace of Münster, which was signed on the 30th of January in 1648. It was ratified on the 15th of May of the same year. It was a peace signed between the Dutch Republic and Spain. It was a treaty in which Spain recognized Dutch independence and subsequently ended the 80 Years' War. We can take a national idea. I don't remember if we were going to take that. No, we weren't. We were going to take Grand Shipyard and Road. Because this one is unjustified demands minus 25%. Which we don't need just yet. Not just yet. We have a royal marriage with Austria, France and Poland. What we were doing, we were trying to get the Poles into a personal union. The French don't like us that much. Ay. Keep saying ay, and every time I say it, I cut it out while I edit. Go figure. Have we converted? No. The second Treaty of Münster, and we're going to talk about it after we decide what we're gonna do this. We're actually gonna let them come to us. We lose a stability point, which I'm not too excited about. There are a lot of Catholic zealots in our country. The Treaty of Münster was signed on the 24th of October in 1648 between the HRE Emperor and France and their allies. We're going to talk what each of them gained out of it in the end. And the third treaty was the Treaty of Osnabrück, which was signed between the Holy Roman Emperor and the Empire of Sweden and their allies. France and Spain did kind of remain at war for another 11 years. They never really signed a truce between themselves, and they remained at war for another 11 years or so. The main kind of things, the main agreements of the treaty were, one, was that power was taken from the emperor and returned to the imperial states. And the imperial states were subsequently allowed to independently decide their religious worship. So if they're either going to be Protestant, Catholic, or Calvinist, those were the three religions they could pick from. We have 2 free diplomats. Why aren't we using them? How are our improved relations? Actually, okay. Let's go improve relations with you. And who else is our ally? I keep forgetting. Is it Hesse? I don't know. And Protestants and Catholics were defined equal between law, and Calvinism became a legal recognition, of course being equal before law, the same as Protestants or Catholics were. The other major thing it did was all the parties in the talks were forced to recognize the Peace of Augsburg in 1555, which basically just determines what I just told you in the few previous kind of topics. It kind of did that. It just forced everyone to recognize that these 3 religions were the same before law. Now, Christians and Protestants, basically Christians in Protestant lands were allowed and guaranteed the right to worship without being prosecuted. Which, would you look at that? Just as I'm talking about recognition and guaranteeing rights to worship, here comes the religious turmoil event, which has fired so many times over the past few years. Reports have reached us that the Emperor is planning to march against all Protestant states in the Empire. He is determined to cleanse the Holy Roman lands of all heretics before the end of the year. If we are to stay true to our faith, we'll have to make preparations. We can say that our allegiance lies with the Emperor, Neue Mark changes to Catholic, or proclaim religious independence, which Austria gets a diplomatic insult against us, and their opinion of us is changed by minus 400. We're going to proclaim religious independence, because we are religiously independent. We are Prussia. Oh, we improve relations with Sweden and France up to 100. Going to, improve relations with them as soon as that diplomat gets back. And another thing that kind of, I guess wasn't as important, but still incredibly important, was that the sovereignty of each party was recognized. The sovereignty over the lands. It kind of reinforces on the Dutch independence thing. Switzerland was also legally recognized as independent from the Holy Roman Empire. As we know, Switzerland is kind of independent in all topics always. They don't really like getting involved in anything. The next one, the next big one, is that France gained several lands in Alsace and Lorraine. Alsace and Lorraine are over here. This is Lorraine and this is Alsace. They also gained something in Metz, I think. But in Lorraine and Alsace have been, between the German states and the French states, have always been a hot topic. They've gone to war with them over, they went to war over those lands so many times, it's not even funny anymore. Honestly, it's not. And they just went to war with them a lot. They were a pain in the ass of everyone. Sweden also gained quite a few things during the peace treaty. One of them was that they gained monetary reparations. Are we married? No. Denmark wants access. Sure. Crude relations in Aragon, Sicily, Ottomans. Trying to find who to improve relations with now. I think Crimea will be a good one. What was I saying? Oh, Sweden gained monetary reparations in, I think it was 5 million thalers. They also gained West Pomerania, some territory in Weimar, and the Prince-Bishoprics of Bremen and Verden, which gave them Vermoren became Protestant. There we go. Fantastic. Don't have to change the religion there. Which those lands that Sweden gained them a vote in the imperial throne, for the imperial throne, which was actually really powerful for them. I should mention that France came out the best out of all of it still. Bavaria also retained the Palatinate electoral vote and the Palatinate, which this kind of Palatinate, it actually wasn't this kind of Palatinate, it was this and Niederbayern, or Nuremberg, sorry. Palatinate was divided between the Electoral Palatinate, which remained in Pfalz and Heidelberg, and Bavaria, which Nuremberg and parts of Niederbayern went to Bavaria. And the last kind of big one was that Brandenburg Prussia gained lands in farther Pomerania, and quite a few bishoprics. There was a lot of bishoprics that gained. It was bizarre. But that's kind of it, what I had to talk about in this little episode. I didn't want to get into a big topic because I wasn't sure how well I would be feeling today. I've been feeling a bit under the weather over the past few weeks. So, actually over the past few days, not weeks. It's simply all this Christmas cheer and Christmas time. It's been spent a lot of time with family. Spent a lot of time talking to friends I normally don't talk to who are overseas. And it was a lot of being up late, getting up early. The Poles changed their capital to Belz. Again, they would still be our vassal, but we can't get another 60 points with them. Simply not happening. Do we claim their independence? That would give us another 10 points. It would bring us to 140. They already have military access through us. I can't think of how to get them up to 100 and whatever it is. 190. Revolts in Ratibor. Ratibor is over there. They're being converted, that's why they're revolting. Would you look at that? Catholic zealots in Moravia. Do we have gunmen? Yes, yes, we have musketeers. How fantastic is that? Let us see. Our nation, we are actually in the next episode, I think. Next episode we should be okay. We're going to go to war with Bohemia again. This time we'll vassalize Bohemia. We'll just make them our vassal and then we'll slowly... I think we should be able to make them our vassal. Might be a bit too much to make them our vassal. But we should be able to make them our vassal. I think we should be able to make them our vassal. I'm not entirely sure now. I think so though. So if we can make them our vassal, that will A, increase our income quite a bit, and then B, once we incorporate it into our land, it will gain us quite a bit of direct money. And Czech, I think, will probably become a recognized culture, considering how much money these provinces have. Swampy Kitty and Kipuyan, which is in Canada. Netherlands are over here. Castile are at war with England British conquest of Unamakik. Huh? Acadia. Let's see if we can find Unamakik. Unamakik. Where is it? It is up here. Oh, it's... No, that's Iptawik. Oh, that's Unamakik. Our military is divided. We have two factions of the military who are very close to breaking out in civil war over what tactics our country should endorse. We need to back one of them to end the bickering. Again? We're going to take morale of armies for defense. I think it's simply more powerful. We're also going to take Grand Shepherd and Road. Austria wants military access. Who are you at war with? Crimea and the Ottomans. Sure. Anything to weaken you. Anything. Literally, we'll do anything. Who are you at war with these days? Austria, Genoa, Thuringia, Papal States, Savoy, and Hungary, Portugal, and Aragon. That's interesting. Going to repay another loan. Our loans are costing us a lot of money. Actually getting quite a bit of money now. And inflation is going down slowly. We don't have any advisors. We can now. We're actually getting diplomatic reputation in. Land maintenance modifier, which should bring in quite a bit of money. And the national tax modifier. And we should be okay, I think. We just want more points. More points. Points for everyone. How much the monarch points are important in this game, it's simply astounding. Since when is Bessarabia Serbian? I thought we captured that. We still can't integrate Lithuania, which is a shame. Is there any chance of us inheriting them? Minus 9%. Our diplomatic reputation is actually incredibly high at the moment. Which is good. It gets boring after I start talking about things. Let's see here. There are Dutch patriots. There was something over here that I didn't see. Flemish patriots, and I'm guessing more Flemish patriots. Which means that these parts will hopefully either become independent or... Actually, if I look at them, let's see. Come on, come into range. French boats. Yeah, these will fall under the Dutch, who I thought we were an ally with the Dutch. Am I missing something? What's it? Oh right, our king is bad. How is that heir of 144? I actually had immense luck in one of my Iron Man games. The king that was 556, something like that. End of religious turmoil. Our country has now recovered from disastrous fractions of religious turmoil and is now together in one piece. Religious turmoil removed and we gain one stability. Which should actually lower our revolt significantly. We have a free diplomat. Therefore, we are going to fabricate a claim on Oberlausitz. And we're going to wait for the flame to fabricate. Claim to fabricate. Flame to fabricate. That was a smart way to say it. I am having issues with talking lately. It's bizarre. Not usually one that has issues with talking. For those of you that do know me, you will know there is no issue with talking. Brandenburg is actually a bit revolty. Let's see. Yeah, we can move the army into Brandenburg. But yeah, we're going to go after Bohemia, try to vassalize them. Just in general, get them into a vassalization, simply because we do want them on our side and we do want to eventually integrate them. And they are Protestant, so I think half of their only Oberlausitz is Protestant actually. But they are an elector, which is important. They're not an elector? I'm pretty sure Bohemia starts out as an elector. Could have been that Austria polled their electorate. We're going to take Mauritian technology. I just realized I didn't read the diplomatic tack we took. How dare I? We're going to take Mauritian infantry. The size and depth of the Spanish square gave it staying power but made it slow and cumbersome to maneuver on the battlefield. It also led to a large percentage of troops being inactive during battles. Maurice of Nassau, the stadtholder of the Netherlands, reduced the total number of men in the formations to make it more mobile and reduce its depth so it maintained the same firepower and shock values. Military tactics plus 0.25, land morale increase plus 1, enables Mauritian infantry. We're going to take a look at Mauritian infantry. It is better than an infantry, so we will take it. Simple as that. And we're going to quickly hire the national tax modifier guy. Should sort of pay for himself, almost, I think. But that is it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about the Treaty of Westphalia. It is an important treaty in European history. It did kind of define international law and international relations in a big way. If you guys enjoyed this episode, don't forget to comment and suggest on what you want me to do next, and like the episode as well, because it helps get more people to see it, because it gets higher on the charts. Don't forget to share the episode as well with your friends and on Reddit and other social network sites that people go to find entertainment. But until next time, bye bye.